Bears fans, welcome back in for another episode. It is Monday, November 25th. We have a short week this week, so there's a lot to try to get through in just 3 days. But before we get into it, the jersey of the day, we got DJ Moore, since he had a fantastic game on Sunday, and I am wearing the orange because I'm feeling like this might be the week where the Bears wear their orange alternates for their away game. We're running out of games to wear it, so I feel like going into Detroit will be the away weekend in which they wear them. Also, before we get started, my friends, we had quite a bit of growth on the channel over the weekend. We gained 11 subscribers through the shorts that I posted, through the game updates, a bunch of likes, and a few comments. Again, I appreciate you guys for getting involved with the videos, leaving your comments and your thoughts. I appreciate the growth. You guys are fantastic, and you guys are awesome. The road to 50 is still alive, my friends, so hopefully we could get there sooner rather than later. Today, not really a whole lot. I didn't catch the press conferences today, so I may be going through those conferences tomorrow. I just need some time to just pick them apart and gather some information. So we will just do an injury update today and then go over a couple of things that I did catch from the conferences on Twitter and CHGO and Locked On Bears, Keek on the Mic, all of those guys. They all already posted stuff about it, and I was listening to their podcast today, so I will give some opinions based on what I heard through them. For the injury update, not really a whole lot. Ryan Bates and Elijah Hicks are already out. One for the concussion, the other, Elijah Hicks, for the ankle. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at week 12. Hello. I need week 13. Here we go. Elijah Hicks and Ryan Bates, they did not practice in limited practice. So, to be fair, today was only just a walkthrough as far as I know, which that bothers me for another reason. I don't understand why you would do a walkthrough on a short week, but hey, it's the Bears. It's what we've been dealt with. So, it is what it is, my friends. Just a couple of quick notes. I did catch Eberflus trying to defend his challenge on that, 60-plus yard run. He terribly defended it, and he had said that he felt that it wouldn't have made a difference if it was 7 yards, 15 yards, or the 60-plus yards. He thought that if there was a chance to get them back in the field, that they would take it, basically. And, if you have a guy who's up in the booth who's supposed to tell you whether you should challenge things or not, that guy should be fired, because you're, 2-9 on challenges in your 3-year tenure? So, I mean, that's a whole problem in and of itself. I heard on ESPN 1000, Eberflus again skirting questions about decision making in the game, and all around just trying to walk around that bush again. Nothing that we haven't heard already. Nothing that we really should be surprised about. The only thing I really saw him take accountability for was trying to get the field goal unit out onto the field and then bringing them back, causing Caleb Williams to mishear and then misuse a play, which really unfortunate. But again, Caleb Williams taking up his accountability for the things that he felt he did wrong there in the game. So your players continue to take steps forward, but your coaching seems to keep taking steps back, outside of Thomas Brown, of course, because Thomas Brown again put on a masterclass with Caleb Williams. He threw for 340 yards. I believe he had just under a 70% completion percentage. The pass that he had on the run and dropped it right into the arms of DeAndre Swift was absolutely beautiful. There was a couple of late absolute missiles to Keenan Allen on third down that was really nice. Everybody got a chance today to pick up some yardage in the passing game again. Not quite as evenly spread as it was last week against Green Bay, but everybody got used again today or yesterday's game, including Roshan Johnson and DeAndre Swift. They both had receiving yards in the game. And again, the run game wasn't quite as good against Minnesota, but we kind of saw that coming with the way that Minnesota pressures. So we all know that Caleb Williams led the charge as far as yardage goes for rushing yesterday. I don't have a problem with that. I kind of felt like that was gonna be how the run game was gonna go on, simply because of how Minnesota brings that pressure. I thought that Thomas Brown handled it really well. I think that Caleb even handled it really well. I think that sack in overtime is going to be a learning experience for him, just because it's a different type of pressure in overtime versus the final minutes of the fourth quarter. In my opinion, I think that it's a little bit of a different ball game because adrenaline is really high. The crowd is right back into it. Because at one point we saw fans leaving early, and then you went downfield, got the field goal, you recovered the onside kick, and then all of a sudden it looked like Soldier Field was packed out again. So, I think again that Thomas Brown is showing that even with the personnel that you have on the offensive line, you can still use your weapons and use them very effectively if you know when to use them and how to use them. I think that he made Shane Waldron look very incompetent, very fast, because in a 1 week turnaround, you almost beat Green Bay, and then you went and led the team downfield to force overtime, so you had a chance to beat Minnesota again. We could all agree that Matt Eberflus and how he played that overtime quarter absolutely gave you up the game when you have your corners playing 10 steps back and you're allowing them to just pick apart the underpass and get those first downs to get downfield. That's a problem. And I understand that like he kind of plays a cover two kind of prevent defense like all game long, but for whatever reason it just seemed like that overtime quarter got softened up so much compared to what it was the first four quarters before that. I mean, yeah, sure, there was some big plays that got let go in the past game before that, but it just seemed like in the fourth quarter, like the defense was almost non-existent, and that's really unfortunate because even though the defense gave up more than 21 points, the defense fought very hard for the most part. Given that Minnesota is one of the top scoring offenses in the league, has the best points differential. They're one of the best in the red zone, and the Bears found a way to stop them enough for the offense to keep you in the game. And Caleb Williams again goes on a potential game-winning drive, which ended up in a field goal, which then forced you into overtime. So again, we're seeing really good things out of Caleb Williams. His progression is key at this point in the season. Not to say that you want to disregard all of your veteran players and the guys that have been there a while, but you want to make sure that you can keep Caleb Williams on track, and I think that Thomas Brown is doing a fantastic job of that. Another key thing that I kind of saw popping up on X and YouTube as I was just wrapping up my dinner, it appears that we have another situation of the players going to Ryan Poles, and this time they are calling for Matt Eberflus. And let me tell you what, there's a part of me that wishes that is really true because he should have been gone by now, but there's also a part of me that kind of wishes that it wasn't the case. Because I'll give you reasons for both. I would say not just because if you fire Eberflus, that's going to put Ben Brown in your head coaching spot 100%. And I would prefer that Thomas Brown. I would just prefer that Thomas Brown focuses on Caleb Williams, his development, and making the offense work, given what the offensive line is what it is. But on the flip side to that, I also understand a lot of what a lot of other podcasts are saying, and I understand what a lot of fans are saying is after the Detroit game, that during that mini bye would be a better time than ever to slide Thomas Brown into that spot, and you can get a 5-game sample size out of him before the offseason. I would still prefer that you go get a true head coach. I would prefer that, you know, Mr. Brown stays as an offensive coordinator, because now him and Caleb Williams they're building that rapport right now, and they're gelling together really well. They communicate really well. I just don't want to see that go to waste, because you're going to use him in either an interim position, or like best case would be he becomes head coach next year. I don't know if there's any value of using him as an interim, just because I again just want him to focus on Caleb when it comes to the offense. But when you put him in, the head coaching position, now he's got to worry about everything else. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen tomorrow and Wednesday. I am also very curious to see what the Bears managed to do in that game, because the Detroit Lions have been putting belt to ass on everybody. I think they're scoring like an average of 41 points a game the last like 5 games or something like that, just an astronomical amount of points. So, I'll do a keys to the game on Wednesday this week instead of Friday, and we'll discuss what I think the Bears need to do to at least keep the game respectable and not get that belt to ass type of treatment that everyone else has been getting. Because I think that the way that Williams and the offense is trending, and the way that the defense plays outside of a few chunk plays, I really do think that if anyone is going to keep a game close with Detroit right now, it could be the Bears, because you have the defense was struggled for a couple of weeks, and now the offense is picking back up. So it's like, can you get both to mesh for a game and keep it close against a very high-scoring Detroit offense and a very, very good defense? I'm really hoping, or I'm really curious to see how that game turns out. But Chicago Bears fans, Chicago sports fans, my friends, you leave your comments below. Tell me what you are feeling. Do you think that there's any truth to the players going to polls about Eberflus? Are you happy with Thomas Brown and what he's doing with Caleb Williams? What do you feel like the rest of the Bears season should look like? You let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so we can beat the YouTube algorithm, because everybody knows that it sucks. And I will catch you guys tomorrow for the press conference video, my friends. You guys have a fantastic evening.